Ready to strengthen your reading comprehension? Take a listen.
Welcome. Today, we're taking a really complex topic and breaking it down into a clear, easy-to-follow guide for you. You know, it's a question a lot of us have, right? Whether you're binge watching the latest legal drama or maybe facing a situation in your own life. So today, we are going to walk through that whole journey, step by step. And we're using the Georgia Pretrial Civil Procedure Guide as our map to show you exactly how those first, critical moves in a civil case are made. All right, let's dive right in. Believe it or not, this whole massive legal process, it all kicks off with just one conversation. That very first meeting between someone with a problem and a lawyer they hope can solve it. So this first meeting has two main goals: build some trust and, of course, get the facts. And there's a real method to it, kind of like a funnel. The lawyer will start really broad, asking open-ended questions like, "So what's going on?" just to let the client tell their story in their own words. Then they start to narrow it down, asking super specific questions to nail down the key details. And finally, they get to the proof, asking about documents, witnesses, basically anything tangible that can back up the story. And here's a really great piece of advice from the guide, and it's aimed squarely at the lawyers. The key to this first interview is just to listen. I mean, it seems obvious, right? But the guide makes a point of saying, hey, you can't get any information if you're the one doing all the talking. It's not the time for war stories, it's about letting the client lay out all the facts. Okay, so before a lawyer can even say yes to taking the case, they have to hit the brakes and run two absolutely critical, urgent checks. First is conflicts of interest. Basically, have we ever worked for the person you want to sue? That's a huge no-no. Second is the statute of limitations, which is just a fancy term for the legal deadline to file. They have to check if that clock is about to run out, because missing that deadline, well, that could kill the case before it even has a pulse. So all that info gathered in that first meeting, it flows right into the next major phase, actually mapping out the strategy. This is the real behind-the-scenes work, where the lawyer makes some huge decisions before a single paper is filed. So first up is a term you've probably heard thrown around: the statute of limitations. All this is really is a legal expiration date on your right to sue. And there's a good reason for it. The idea is to make sure lawsuits happen when evidence and memories are still fresh, and also so people don't have the threat of a lawsuit hanging over their heads forever. And let me tell you, these deadlines can be laser specific. Take this Georgia example. For a breach of a written construction contract, you've got 6 years. But 6 years from when? From the day the work is considered substantially completed. And if you miss that window, even by a single day, poof, your right to sue could be gone for good. All right, next up, the lawyer has to play detective and figure out the right courthouse. This all comes down to a concept called jurisdiction. All that means is, does this specific court have the power to hear this specific case? You can't just file a lawsuit in any old court you want. It has to be a place that makes sense, one that's fair to the person being sued and has a real connection to what happened. And this is where the real chess game begins. Sometimes more than one court might have jurisdiction, so the lawyer gets to choose the, let's call it the home field. And they're thinking about a lot more than just convenience. Sure, where the witnesses are located matters, but they're also digging into things like, what's this court's track record with cases like mine? Choosing the right venue can give you a serious leg up right from the get-go. Okay, so the strategy is set, the court is chosen, now it's go time. It's time to make this whole thing official by filing the one document that actually kicks off the lawsuit. And that document is called the complaint. You can think of it as the opening shot. It's the plaintiff's side of the story written down in a formal document and filed with the court. It clearly says who is suing who, why they're suing, and what they want the court to do about it. But a complaint isn't just telling a story. Not at all. It's a highly structured legal blueprint. It has to tick very specific boxes. First, you've got the parties, who's involved. Then, jurisdiction, why this court gets to decide. After that comes the factual allegations. Here's what happened. That leads directly to the legal claims, like breach of contract or negligence. And finally, the relief sought, what the plaintiff is asking the court for, usually money. Now, you might think filing that complaint with the court clerk is the big moment, but it's really only half the battle. The lawsuit isn't really on until you do one more thing: officially tell the person you're suing about it. And this next part, it is absolutely fundamentally critical. This whole procedure is called service of process, and without it, the court basically has no power over the defendant. It's all about fairness. It ensures the person on the other end actually knows they're being sued and gets a chance to defend themselves. It's a fundamental part of our legal system. So how do you do it? Well, the best way, the gold standard, is personal service. That means someone literally walks up and hands a copy of the complaint and a court summons directly to the defendant. But what if you can't find the person? If you can prove to a judge that you've looked everywhere and tried everything, you might be allowed to use a last resort method, service by publication. And yeah, that means literally publishing a notice in a newspaper. Okay, so the defendant has been served. The moment those papers are in their hands, a clock starts ticking. The ball is officially in their court now.
And they respond by filing their own legal document, which is called, pretty straightforwardly, an answer. This is their first official chance to fight back. In the answer, they literally go through the complaint paragraph by paragraph and either admit or deny each thing the plaintiff said. They also get to raise what are called defenses, which is basically them saying, hey, even if everything you said is true, you still can't win, and here's why.
And that clock I mentioned? It's ticking fast. In Georgia, for example, a defendant typically has just 30 days from the moment they're served to get that answer filed. That's not a lot of time to scramble and get your entire defense strategy together.
And you better believe this deadline is serious. The guide doesn't mince words here. It says that if a lawyer misses this deadline just because of carelessness, it's malpractice. The fallout for the defendant could be catastrophic. We're talking about losing the right to use certain defenses, or even losing the entire lawsuit automatically by default, just like that.
So there you have it. From that very first client meeting all the way to the defendant's official answer, this whole initial phase is about setting the stage. The complaint and the answer are the documents that draw the official battle lines for the entire legal fight that's about to unfold.
And that, of course, leads to the next big question, right?
Now that the battle lines are drawn, how do both sides figure out what evidence the other one has?
Well, that next phase is called discovery, and it's often the longest, most intense, and most important part of a lawsuit. It's where everyone is forced to lay their cards on the table, and we'll dig into exactly how that works next time.